Good afternoon, guys. It's Working, bringing you a quick update on EOS. Hope you guys are having a wonderful afternoon. We're looking at EOS to the US dollar. This is the 4-hour chart on Bitfinex, guys, and EOS is looking very bullish at the moment. We can see that volume is starting to increase. We need to see volume continue to increase if this is going to be a sustainable bull run. We can see price came up, broke out of this resistance area here, came up, didn't even acknowledge this small supply zone between 5.60, 5.80, just pushed right through it, came up, hit this little order block here, which was a very tiny little supply zone between $6 and 5.92, hit that, wicked below it, guys, and now it's kind of sitting here hovering between these two zones. I would like to see this zone to continue to act as support. It was resistant, should act as support now. However, I am counting this. If we come in here and look at this from an Elliott perspective, we should be looking at a possible correction here anytime now, and that would be a healthy thing for us to see that. So I'm counting this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves up. This would be primary wave 1. And then we've got a primary wave 2 that's made up of an ABC correction. And we're now in our primary wave 3, which should be the most impulsive. And as of right now, it does look like the most impulsive. So how am I counting this primary wave 3? I'm counting this as subwave 1, 2, 3, 4, and somewhere up for a 5 that I'm going to, there we go. I think that wave 5 is going to more than likely hit this descending resistance line, guys. This descending resistance line has been in place since June, mid-June, been tested numerous times. I am expecting it to act as some kind of resistance now, at least get some small bounce off of it. So it would make sense we get a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That also coincides nicely if I pull my fib extension and I go from the bottom of my wave 2, or bottom of wave 1, top of wave 1, bottom of wave 2. What do we get? We've got usually our wave 3 is going to hit somewhere around the 1618. It's a logical place for it to hit. That's going to be somewhere in this zone here. However, I would expect, once again, this resistance to come into play. So I'm not sure it's going to break above it. It would be more logical to me that we find resistance right here at that line. Excuse me. So we'll have to wait and see how that ends up playing out, guys. And I'm not even sure that we've seen the top of wave 3 yet. It looks to me, excuse me, guys, one second. Let me get a drink of water. Okay, sorry about that, guys. It looks to me like this wave 3 might have one more wave up. Not saying it's going to. That's just a possibility. But nonetheless, I can see it finding resistance somewhere up, not much higher than it is right now, coming back down, finding support in this zone down here between 560, 5.80, somewhere thereabouts. If you're looking to get in on a buy order, I would more than likely stack buy orders down here between about 5.60, 5.70, somewhere thereabouts, guys. If you want to, again, not financial advice, that would just be a logical place to play the pullback, because it does look like a pullback is going to happen at any time now. If we come here and we look at our RSI, this is on the 4-hour. Well, 4-hour RSI is extremely overbought, once again, suggesting a possible pullback. Bullish indication, we can see the RSI broke above this descending resistance line, so it's above both descending resistance lines now. Once we get a pullback, I'm hoping that this descending resistance line will now act as support on the RSI, and once again, we'll be watching that, monitoring. If we look here at the stock RSI, it's also overbought, suggesting a possible pullback here in the very near future. Coming in here, looking at our MACD. MACD, we can see the histograms continuing to trend up. MACD and signal line both showing no signs of reversing course. If we come here and we look at the 4-hour, 4 hours looks like it's trying to break above this descending wedge that's been, or excuse me, not a descending wedge, this wedge that's been in place since June, early June, actually late May, early June. We can see the MACD lines just now breaking out. If the signal line follows through, that'd give us confirmation of a breakout, guys. And that, as I told you before, as it gets squeezed tighter and tighter and approaches the apex, we can expect a breakout, and that may be exactly what we're seeing. So let's wait and see kind of how that plays out, guys. But it's interesting how things are coinciding very nicely with that wedge. If we come in here, we look at the short positions. Shorts are starting to drop. Now, this is interesting, guys. We're still stacked to the upside, so I'm sure market makers are still going to want to take out these short positions. However, it's starting to stack at a very rapid, or excuse me, starting to fall, it looks like, at a very rapid rate. If that continues, and if shorts continue to fall, and if we contrast that with longs, longs are not continuing to rise, or not rising. We can see that longs rose a little bit, and then people are taking their profits, and they kind of dropped off here. So we're not seeing what we normally see when shorts fall, longs rise, and vice versa. We're not really seeing that. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens here. If longs were starting to rise as shorts were starting to fall, I would tell you that we could expect price to fall very, very shortly. But the fact that shorts are still kind of stacked but are falling, but longs are not rising at all, it's going to be interesting to see what the market makers decide to do. However, if these shorts continue to fall, and if you monitor longs and long positions start to stack, at that point, guys, you want to be very careful, because at that point, market makers may turn this whole trend around and may quickly bring price right back down. So again, be very, very careful. Watch those two, correlate those two, and also watch volume. As long as volume remains below 1 billion, and let me pull up here on the EOS chart. We can see for today, volume sitting at about 600 million. That's very weak overall, but for the last few days, it's certainly an uptick, and it certainly could be a start. But as long as volume remains below 1 billion, this is market makers can easily manipulate this market. So without a massive influx in volume, without daily volume above 1 billion, guys, we can expect market makers to manipulate this market, and they will, depending on depending on what's doing and depending on what's in their best interest. So be very, very careful about that, guys. Just be very careful. Okay, looking to the upside, guys, if price can break above $6, there's not a lot of resistance between $6 and $7 other than this descending resistance line, guys. So it may be a very quick rise. If it does break above 6, a very quick rise to 7. If we break above 7.3, this is going to be a very strong resistance between $7 and $7.30. If price does break above 7.30, guys, you can see a lot of sell orders sitting up in here. But if it does break above 7.30, guys, I think it could be a very quick rise to at least $8, $8.15, somewhere thereabouts. So again, just things to keep aware of, guys. There's not a lot of resistance between 6 and 7, not a lot of resistance between 7.30 and $8. So you can see how this could snowball very, very quickly if we get an influx of volume. But without a massive influx in volume, guys, then this is not going to be a sustainable bull run, even though right now we are looking rather bullish. To the downside, guys, we're going to want this at least the bottom of this 5.60 to hold as support if we do get that correction. If it does break below 5.60, guys, at that point, we're going to want to be very, very careful. At that point, we could end up breaking much, much lower. It could snowball, down to at least this zone here between 5.45 and 5.30. That would be, in my opinion, that's going to be as low as you want to see it go if this uptrend is going to continue. If it drops below 5.30, guys, watch out below. This thing might very quickly turn into this whole thing could turn into a quick bull trap, and price could just quickly turn around and we could get dumped on. Not saying that's going to happen at all. I'm just saying these are things you're going to want to be careful of and want to take care of and want to be aware of if you start seeing signs of a reversal. So anyway, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it there. If you have any comments, questions, suggestions, please let me know in the comment section below. As always, guys, I would appreciate it if you just smash that upvote and that like button. It just lets me know you want me to continue to make these videos. Until next time, guys, please take care of yourselves. Trade safe. This is Working. Signing out.